Listen, you're not gonna find anything on me, okay? Trust me.
Empty your pockets into the tray, sir, or we'll have to. Your pockets, sir?
Lady, the problem isn't in my pants.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. I decided to forego just the full Hellfire Gala review of all 3 issues. I haven't really been enjoying it. We're going to cover it here on This Week in X-Men anyway. I did review Planet Size X-Men because there was a pretty big reveal in there. I recommended the comic book. I thought it was a cool, very interesting idea, poorly executed in my opinion. We can get into that. I've already talked about it, but here with me to talk about that is the X-Men historian, the Marvel aficionado, Doc. How you doing?
Not bad. I'm happy to be here, sir, and happy to talk about this. But you were much more enthused about this issue than I was.
I'm enthused. I was enthused about the idea. I'm not enthused about the way they did it. There was no stakes. There was no build up to it. Somebody was like, well, there was a bar fight in Cable. They literally just sucked an entire landmass and 1 million mutants off the planet and terraformed and put them on and colonized Mars because they're such a big threat. I don't think a bar fight would have precipitated that.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't. No, a bunch, out of the 10 million or something mutants that popped back over from Araco, 3 of them got in a bar fight in Japan. If that's your crime rate, you're doing better than every single nation on the planet.
They dropped the ball so badly. You've got this enormous landmass that shows up with all these very hostile and dangerous mutants. They could have been building up and ratcheting up the stakes until they did this. At the same time, World War III is about to break off, and they ship them off to Mars, and everyone's like, "Thank goodness!" And they were like, "Holy shit, they're on Mars!"
Yeah,
all of a sudden the tension's there. You've ratcheted all this stuff up, but it's like, oh. Here, 4 days ago, we talked to somebody. 3 days ago, we talked to Captain America. 2 days ago, there was a meeting with Emma Frost. 1 day ago, we were on the Sword space station. Yeah. And now we will play God and recreate the heavens and the earth in 20 minutes. And it was like, I can't imagine executing a more interesting idea in a more boring manner.
Well, the thing is, I don't even find it that interesting. All it did was show me that generic Duggan read the same Popular Mechanics article we all did from the early 2000s that explained what happened to Mars, why Mars failed as a planet, and what would be required to terraform Mars. And then he did it, but with mutants. Yay. Congratulations. The thing is, it's not an original story. I mean, let's not even forget the fact that he literally stole that infographic page, that first one at the end, is literally him just photocopying the movie 2010, the year we make contact. That's it. The thing with, at the end where Europa becomes the new Earth, but on a system, but spinning around, I think it turned Jupiter into another sun in that movie, and all other planets are yours except for here. Do not attempt to land, blah, blah, blah. This is the same. It's the same. He literally stole the fucking lines from a movie that came out in the 80s.
Well, at least there's 40 years between it, but I don't know. Some people are saying, why do you think this would cause World War III, Wes? This doesn't seem like a hostile event. There's literally 10 million deadly mutants on Mars that no one can monitor anymore.
Well, not only that.
The Krakoans can bring back at any moment. And they've decided to name Mars the capital of our solar system.
Oh, yeah, I was going to get to that. But the fact is, they just ignored international, I guess you could say, maritime law when it comes to space colonization. Like, they just flat out ignored it. Like,
I think everyone owns a piece of it or something, or you can't claim
it. Exactly. You cannot claim it. Nobody's allowed to claim Mars. So what did the mutants do? They fucking claimed Mars. They just
that's why it's an interesting idea. It should ratchet up and create this enormous conflict within the entire 616 of everyone fighting the mutants on Krakoa.
Yeah,
I doubt that's what's happening, but that's what should happen.
Look, I get, yeah. I mean, okay, fine. To some degree, that is interesting, but this is just another. And then, this is an event to do nothing. But
what did Planet-Size X-Men have to do with the Hellfire Gala?
Nothing, except for
this could have been something completely different, where they actually ratcheted up, and as they're terraforming Mars, like, you know, the entire world's about to go to war, and they're going to nuke Krakoa off the planet, or they're going to have to take decisive action and maybe kill off all the humans. And all of a sudden, at the last moment, Mars is terraformed. Arako gets sent there, and they're like, "Listen, we've averted disaster." Yeah, and that's how you turn the doomsday clock. You move the minute hand back one by shipping them off planet. It's the last. There was no tension whatsoever in this issue, and everyone's like, "This thing's great." Listen, just because you've eaten chicken shit for so long, you think it tastes like chicken salad when you get something that's cool but executed poorly, doesn't mean I have to lower my standards on story crap. Well, not only does it not. Well, you're right, but the thing is, not only does it not fit into Hellfire Gala thematically, it doesn't, like, continuity-wise either. How the fuck is Jean and Quentin and Magneto both on Krakoa and on Mars terraforming at the same time? I just said they terraformed it in 20 minutes. No, but the fireworks demonstration was them terraforming it. No, but Quentin had been on there for they were talking about it like it was hours and hours and like almost a full day that they were up there. Yet at the same time, it was immediately after the fireworks on display on Krakoa was immediately after the announcement of the new X-Men team, and Jean was literally in a different costume on a different fucking planet. At that time, it's a good costume, though. Yeah, my point. But my point is, you know, Quentin can't be help terraforming Mars and arguing with Tony Stark on Krakoa at the same fucking time. So good job. Like, I mean, first of all, they basically stole a plot, because this was a plot stolen from a Popular Mechanics article, 2010, the year we made contact, and that movie, The Core, where they have the bad one where they had to like reboot the core of the Earth. It was like a sequel to Armageddon. Once they had those movies, they made money. They started making all these stupid end of the world movies. So congratulations, you copied Roland Emmerich. Good job. I mean, everybody can do disaster porn. But so not only that, but they couldn't even keep their own internal continuity even remotely close to straight for 12 fucking issues. Did anybody, like, this is not hard. If you're going to do a 12-issue event where it's all occurring at the same time in every single book, all you do is a little fucking flow chart. I mean, don't they have these long-ass Slack channels and Zoom meetings and nonsensical getting together? No, they got to decide who's wearing a prettier fucking dress rather than keeping their own goddamn... We haven't got to the other two issues yet. That wasn't even brought up in that Planet-Size X-Men. It had nothing to do with the Hellfire Gala. Let's talk about the last reveal. We don't have time to go into it full, but what did you think about a Monarch giving birth to a space station? Pretty gross, huh? Yeah, Jamie Braddock. The thing is, Jamie Braddock, that this seemed like it was just like, hey, let's put in this weird gore thing. That's not even really that gory. It's just like a yay, men can give birth to thing. Like, fuck you. Well, this is weird. You're doing weird for the sake of weird. And Jamie's crazy, but the thing is, with crazy ass Jamie, all he has to do is think about something and it happens. He
That's his power. He doesn't have to think, like when he thinks giving birth to a space station, he's not going to think literally giving birth. It's just going to be him thinking it and it just forming in space. Hey. But okay, I guess.
Hey, at the end of Planet Size X-Men, we've got to terraform and colonize Mars. I wonder how the gravity and everything is going to affect those mutants that are out there. I think it might hurt them. But we've got that going on, and we have a new sword station around Mars. So at least in the end, something interesting happened, which is more than we can say for anything so far in the Hellfire Gala, including the one issue that was good, Hellions.
Well, I think you're still going to, you already found out at the end of this that, some of NASA's had some shit that was on Mars that got destroyed. That company had some shit that was on Mars that got destroyed. We're going to find out there were humans on Mars that Magneto killed, and fuck you, Doc was right.
No,
I guarantee it.
Sorry.
That's what the trial of Magneto is going to be about. Fuck, and whenever it happens, I'm going to come on screaming, fuck you, I was right.
Well, you could just be copying Razor Fist. You're just all upset because Jerry Duggan copied a Popular Mechanics article.
All right, fine.
You're going to have to come up with your own thing to say. So, hey, listen, I recommend the comic book. It was poorly led up to, not executed in the most boring manner possible, but in the end, we got something cool. Kudos. They achieved something.
I recommend saving your money because I don't like giving money to people that just go, and then plots.
And then.
Yeah. That's that's all this fucking event is.
Well, that's not true. Most of it is not even that exciting. Let's get into the other two issues. I believe the first one up it wasn't X-Corp. It was New Mutants. This is one of the worst comics I've read in quite some time. It was nonsensical. Nothing seemed to happen. There was the weird serial rapist that was in there for about 10 pages. It seemed, I don't know where he came from. And it was all about, I don't know, Warlock not fitting in, maybe? What was this comic book about?
It was about yet another example of Vita Ayala not knowing how to write a comic book.
She knows how to fill it up with dialogue, so hopefully you're distracted by the fact that the story isn't there.
Yes, she knows how to. She knows how to look. This is a book ostensibly about friendship between a bunch of different mutants of the younger generations, written by someone that I still don't think has friends and only has allies. So are we shocked that nobody seems like they actually know how to talk to another human being?
Magic is supposed to be a bit aloof, but everyone else is kind of supposed to have some bit of normality to them. But they didn't speak human. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, well, Magic is supposed to be. She's not aloof. She's just disconnected from humanity because all of her formative years were spent in fucking
What does aloof
limbo.
mean, Doc? Does it mean disconnected?
Yes, no, but it also means better than. Like, thinking that you're above. She just doesn't. Yeah, in a lot of cases,
it means.
All right.
Aloof, it means you don't fit in. There's just something a little off about you.
Yeah, aloof also means above you. Like you don't. It's kind of an egotistical term. But regardless, I am not
bringing up dictionary.com.
All right, fine.
Keep talking.
But the thing is, Magic. She spent all of her formative years, all the times where she'd be learning how to.
All right, here's aloof, Doc. At a distance, especially in feeling or interest. Apart. Reserved or reticent, indifferent, disinterested. It has nothing to do with feeling like you're above.
Okay. All right. Fine. We're arguing semantics, but.
I speak human.
Yeah, I know. Like, we're sitting here actually having a goddamn conversation. But no, like she just doesn't seem to. She spent.
She's the only one that felt in character. Everybody else was just strange.
Yeah, when she writes Magic as not able to human very well, that makes sense. When she writes everyone else not able to human very well, it's a reminder that she doesn't human very well.
What a waste of a pretty cool cover. That's the best I can say about the comic book. The cover wasn't awful. It was pretty decent.
I mean, it was all right. But no, this story was just bad. I mean, it's
terrible.
It is. And I mean, really, really fucking bad.
Really, really, really bad. Worst issue of Hellfire Gala. And we're about to talk about X-Corp, which somehow was better.
Are you sure?
Hey, things happen in X-Corp. Something happened there. At least there was the remnants or the semblance of possible plot lines happening in that comic book. Nothing happens in there. It's just people talking about nothing.
I mean, okay.
Until the very last reveal when Danny's sister is in trouble.
The sister that I don't remember her ever having. But
okay, I'm glad you said that because I was like, I don't remember this sister, but okay, Doc will fill me in.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember Danny ever having a sister. Am I forgetting something? Like, did I miss something that, or was this something? Yeah, I mean, hey, I am. I'm old. I might have.
There are enough people that watch this show that think you're a dickhead that they're definitely gonna rub it in your face when they tell you who Gabby is in the comments.
Yeah, I have no fucking recollection of this chick ever existing before. But hey, it's been a long time since I read the old New Mutants, and I know it's not a more recent.
If you want to read good New Mutants, you're going to have to read old New Mutants because this sucks.
Yes,
this is fucking awful. Let's go to what I would consider a better comic book. Somehow, I would say New Mutants is like a 1-star comic because even the art sucked pretty badly. X-Corp is like a 1.5, maybe a 2-star because at least there's something happened. But the characterization's really off with Monet. She's like Hillary Rodham mutant. She's always been a diva, but now she's a C-word, Doc.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry they wrote Kamala Harris the comic. The only thing missing is like the ridiculous cackling every time she gets uncomfortable. She's just a bitch. I mean, really, like this is not the Monet.
This is like character assassination, even like for people that like the character.
It really is, because I mean, like you can read like the old, like early on when she was kind of a wallflower in Generation X, before you realized all the trauma she had, and then when she really kind of got her like personality back, because literally getting her personality back, you could see that she was strong, confident, a little bitchy, but more difficult. She was hard-headed, and that was cool. Like, and then you really got a good appreciation for her in Peter David's X Factor, like the X Factor Investigations run. You know, she was like to the point where Doc, she was kind of terrifying.
Let's talk about this comic.
Yeah, but I mean, to the point where she was kind of almost terrifying to you, but at the same time, you were really happy she was on your side, kind of thing. And this is she's just kind of a psycho.
Yep. And it's just them doing some really stupid, inane business meetings with Jamie Braddock's, I guess he's in costume as one of his duplicates so he can eavesdrop and find out who's joining the board. Apparently that's the big exciting like premise of the story.
Yeah, Jamie Madrox's using dupes. I mean, he realizes that he still looks the same when he's a dupe, right? So it doesn't matter if he's wearing, you know, a fake mustache or whatever. And try, you know, I'm going to wear a fake mustache and glasses. Nobody will recognize me. I mean, obviously.
Plus, can't he eavesdrop on everybody through his duplicates? Why would he have to pretend to be one?
Yeah, exactly.
That part was really stupid. All the meetings were really stupid. In the end, we get a conflict where I guess they went to the really dumb island that's a spaceship. And there's a fight.
Yeah, this comic was inane. This is a comic written by someone who has never been in an actual business meeting. That's never been in an executive meeting. I'm telling you, that as boring as she made it, they're actually more boring. And if anybody has ever sat in an executive meeting, the last thing they would ever want to write about is an executive meeting. That's all I'm going to say. Because we know how fucking much of a waste of time they are. We know how much all of this corporate shenanigans bullshit is a waste of time. Stop it. We already have this comic. It's called Marauders. That's at least, you know what? When we're looking at why this comic even exists, and somehow Marauders is the more interesting take on the same concept being published at the same time, Jesus fucking Christ, cancel this book.
Yeah, they probably should. So I would say this is the second worst week of Hellfire Gala so far. The highlight still has been the week when we got Hellions, but I think it was the second week when it was I don't even remember the titles. Nothing was good. At least here something exciting happened in Planet-Size X-Men, if I thought the execution of it in itself was poor. But there's no saving this event. It sucks. I don't care who Magneto murders.
Yeah,
he could murder Conan O'Brien and Patton Oswalt. He could murder the entire Avengers, and I wouldn't give a shit at this point. Nah, there's no saving it. But some people are liking it. If you were enjoying Hellfire Gala, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. If you think that Planet-Size X-Men was the absolute tits and the greatest comic book you've ever read in your life, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Look, if you're listening to this and you really like this event, and I mean this with all sincerity, can you explain to me why? Because I just don't get it.
Wow, I don't need any explanation. You can like the comic for whatever reason. It's just not my cup of tea. I prefer, really high quality storytelling. That's why, it's a critical channel.
I do too, but I just want to know what it is about this what is it that's interesting you? Because I haven't found anything that actually happened yet.
Listen, they colonized Mars, Doc. That was a pretty big event.
No, I mean that actually made sense within the story, like logically consistent across the event.
I don't know. All right, Doc, that's going to wrap us up. We're like 23 minutes. Thank you so much. We'll wrap up the final leg of the event next week on This Week in X-Men. There will be no more X-Men reviews on the channel probably until Inferno, because I'm not doing them individually anymore. I'll just talk about them with Doc. Sayonara.